entire families in cold blood. Now, my job is to come here today and to beg you on behalf of the millions of people who will die for you to take real and effective measures to put an end to this.
6 months later, Clooney returned to the region, this time bunking up with Nick.
You win a Pulitzer Prize, and well, you get to shack up with the 2-time sexiest man alive.
Is it kind of a good feeling to run across people who have no idea who you are?
Actually, that's not true. See what you just said? You said, I liked you in Batman and Robin. Now it's hard to find people like that.
I think she was just praising Brad Pitt.
Everybody does that. We're bunking together next. Tragedy. On our way to the Congo.
When we come back, Ben Affleck's cameras follow Nick for his compelling report from the rape capital of the world. That's next.
On Christmas Day.
My favorite story in Half the Sky. 18 years ago, she buried her dreams on a scrap of paper. What happened next? Guaranteed to knock your socks off. You'll never give up on a dream after seeing this woman. The most incredible story I think I've ever heard.
What an honor to meet you.
Then, how this mother says she went from battered wife to fashion tycoon. This is so extraordinary.
Friday, December 25th.
Closed captioning provided by the maker of the following product.
Thursday night at 7, Channel 5 proudly presents Holiday Lights, Boston's official tree lighting live from Boston Common, with special guest singer Brian McKnight and Santa. Thursday at 7, only on WCBB Channel 5.
Ah, thank you. I thought we had a $20 limit.
We did. Triumphant Joy, just $19.99. Find what makes your holidays happy at a price that makes you home goods happy.
There are over 358 million trillion gallons of water on Earth. But not all water is created equal. Only 1/1000th of 1% is filtered naturally beneath the Earth, with a distinct balance of minerals, and emerges crisp and refreshing enough to be called Poland Spring. Poland Spring 100% natural spring water. Born better.
I'm Bill Galvin, Secretary of State. It's time to vote in the special federal election for United States Senator. Absentee ballots are now available. Call your city or town hall or call my office. Please make your vote count.
Experience the magic of Boston Ballet's The Nutcracker. There's no better way to celebrate the holidays in New England. Now through December 27th at the Boston Opera House, presented by State Street Corporation.
Actor Ben Affleck is the executive producer of an upcoming documentary for HBO called Reporter, where cameras follow Nick and his crew to the Congo. Here is Ben.
Villagers took what looked like a bundle of rags out of one thatch roof hut and laid it on the ground. Only it wasn't a bunch of rags. It was a woman dying of starvation. The woman's name was Johanita, a 41-year-old teacher, and she was starving to death. Years earlier, soldiers had burned her fields, stole her livestock, raped her, and left her for dead. Then, seen as unfit to marry, Johanita had no money and no one to look after her.
I really think we need to get her to the hospital. I don't mean the health center. I mean the hospital.
Sadly, her story is not unique. For millions of women in eastern Congo, the stigma of rape is practically a death sentence.
She has raging infections. It is very serious. I don't know what you will do to help her at the hospital, but I do know that if you do not bring her, she will die.
On the brink of death, no one in the village offers to take this rape victim to the hospital, or even allow Nick the permission to take her.
Who is coming?
Well, we thought we had found a neighbor, a woman who had agreed, and then she just went in the other direction.
Finally, one volunteer steps forward. After a long, hot, uncomfortable drive, Johannita finally makes it to the hospital.
What almost killed Johannita was starvation in a narrow sense. But more broadly, she's one more victim of the warfare that has already claimed 5 million lives in Congo since 1998.
And that war is going on as we speak here today.
And it's gotten worse this year.
Yeah, it's gotten worse this year.
Deteriorated.
What happened to Janita?
I'm afraid that a few weeks later, she died. It was, in effect, a consequence of her having been raped by these soldiers in eastern Congo. One more of these 5 million deaths, completely unnecessary.
5 million.
5 million.
Why is rape the weapon of choice? I mean, you've sat down with these guys who are responsible for committing, these atrocities. Why is rape the weapon of choice?
Rape is pretty insidious because you can terrorize a population with rape and you have no trace. There are no bodies, dead bodies left there. Mm-hmm. And the victims they're too frightened that they won't talk to the authorities. So it's a very stealthy way to terrorize a population.
It feels like such overwhelming savagery. I mean, when you see these children who have been hyped up on drugs and they're now, turning against their own family members, and these babies carrying these, automatic weapons, and it just feels like, how do you ever overcome that?
But, in fact, side by side with the very worst of humanity, you see the very best. In that hospital that Ben mentioned there, Heal Africa Hospital, it is performing surgery on these women. It is saving lives right and left, and it is doing that because of support from Americans, donating things as simple as their airline miles to support the hospital. And those people are utterly heroic. They are making a difference there. And I come back, and sure, I'm appalled by the atrocities I see, but I'm also so inspired by the work of Heal Africa Hospital and other people out there. It was terrific.